Hey guys, Chart Stoppers back with another video. In this channel we take a look at different stocks and map out their key support and resistance areas on their chart. It's important to know these areas before buying any stock, and it's also important to know what kind of a trend a stock is in before you buy into it. Support and resistance is one of the most important things you should know about a stock before you either buy or sell. And also if you're doing any day trading, swing trading, or options, you are definitely going to want to get familiar with support and resistance. Just to let you know, I am not a financial expert. These videos are for educational purposes only, but I am here to point out key factors on the charts which do impact the price action of a stock. I also provided a link in the description for Webull. You could use it to start an account and get 2 free stocks, and I also provided a link for Robinhood. You could use that to start an account and get 1 free stock. And just to let you know, we will be doing 3 videos per week on 3 different stocks, so if you have a recommendation, leave a comment below and I'll try to get to it. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification button so you don't miss out on any new videos. Okay, so let's get into the market today. Today is May 5th, 2021. You can see here the S&P 500 is up 0.11%. The Dow is actually down 0.13%, and the NASDAQ is up so far on the day 0.32%. So a little bit of a mixed day today. You could see when the market opened today, it sold off a little bit, and it's now recovering after 10:30. So let's get into the stock I wanted to take a look at today. I wanted to do Draftkings. I wanted to go over their chart. They do have earnings coming up on May 7th, which is Friday. The earnings will come out pre-market on Friday, and they're expected to have a loss of 41 cents per share. So, they're not profitable yet, but they are expected to be profitable very soon as the gambling industry is growing exponentially and at a rapid pace. So, I've done a couple videos on DraftKings before. I will provide the link in the upper right-hand corner. You should see that right about now. And you could see that DraftKings is actually up today. It's currently trading at $56.47 at the moment. It's up 33 cents today, which is the equivalent of 0.55%. So about 0.5% today it's up. And it is, a very volatile stock, as you can see from the chart here. Let's take a look at the chart and we'll go over what we're looking at. You can see it reached a 52-week high of $74.38, and they reached that on this day right here, which is March 22nd of 2021. So about, a month and a half ago, they reached their 52-week high, and since they reached that high, you could see the stock has promptly sold off since then. And you've lost a lot since then regarding the value of the stock. It's currently trading at $56.44 right now. And let's go over the chart here. So before we get into it, they do have a market cap of $44 billion. And their headquarters is in Boston, Massachusetts. They were founded in 2011. They have 2,600 employees. And the CEO, his name is Jason D. Robbins. And if you don't know what DraftKings does, they operate as a digital sports entertainment and gaming company. And, they're basically in the sports betting industry. So let's look here on the chart. You could see it's been in this downtrend since they hit that 52-week high. You could see it has broken out of the downtrend just a couple weeks ago on April 21st, but it is still, very volatile right now. It did recover back up to the 50-day moving average after it got out of its downtrend, but it has promptly, sold off since then. So just going over real quick the support and resistance for this one, we're going to want to see this thing close above the line right here, which I'm about to put in around $73.25. It has failed to close above that. So if we want to see this thing move to all new highs, we're going to want to see this thing close above this level right here, which is around $73.25. So ever since it started selling off, you could see our first support level was going to be around $64.63 right in this area right here. We lost that during the sell-off and because of this correction that's been happening in the NASDAQ. So we lost that, and the stock dropped also to this next support level, which is $55.26. So we've seen this support level hold up over the past couple weeks, and it has never closed below this support level. So that is pretty strong support around $55.25 right here. But if it were to drop and fall below the support level here, we're going to be looking first at the 200-day moving average on the daily chart, which is sitting around $50.94 at this moment. So around $51 is what you could expect this to fall to. You could see here from the daily chart, it's never fallen below this 200-day moving average. So that's what we would be looking at if the stock does sell off after they report earnings here coming up on Friday. So let me just move these up right here. And, if it does fall below that, the 200-day moving average, if it sells off, a lot, which I don't expect it to do. I expect them to have great earnings because of the Super Bowl, which was in the first quarter of this year, and, also March Madness and everything like that is going to be included in their earnings. So I'm going to be expecting them to have good earnings and good numbers coming out, and for them to beat expectations of, that 41-cent loss per share. So I don't think it will, but if it does keep falling, we're going to be looking at support around $45 right here, past that 200-day moving average. That is pretty strong support also. We saw it drop to this level and quickly recover. We also have support around $35. That's pretty strong support also. We've seen it reach that level right here, and after it reached this level in this area, this was because of a share offering they did and to raise capital. When you saw this huge sell-off right here, fell down to $35 and it doubled from there. So that's very strong support. If it ever does reach that area, there will be a lot of buying coming in right there because we've seen the stock double from this area in here. Now looking back at our trend lines here, you could see it has broken out of the little downtrend that it was in for about a month or two. And we still have this green line right here, which is the uptrend that it's been on. So we've seen it has been on this uptrend since the lows of COVID right in here. We saw a low of $10.60 on, March 12th of 2020. So that was the COVID lows right here. Ever since then, it's been on this uptrend. And you've gotten about 7 times your money if you would have bought in at this low right here. Of course, it was a SPAC, and pre-merger it was trading around there. And since the merger, this thing has gone up 7 times. So you've made pretty good returns on your money if you would have bought in when it was a SPAC. Because this stock is a leader in its industry, and it is the gambling industry is expected to grow a lot in the next 5 to 10 years. You see a lot of people buying in, trying to get in before the growth happens. So we see it's been on this uptrend right here marked in the green, and it has been following this trend line, for over a year now. And you could see right here, the big sell-off yesterday, which we had in the market, dropped this thing all the way down to around $53 yesterday. And you could see it recovered nicely since then. So, you had a big drop yesterday below our trend line. It looked like our trend line was not going to hold up, but it ended up gaining back during the day and closing above our trend line. So this trend line is still holding true, and you can see today it's recovering nicely off of our trend line also. So I'm expecting this thing to recover and still hold true to this trend line during earnings. So we've already seen a big correction in this stock from the all-time highs right here. And, a lot of analysts have their price targets around $100. So right now, if this trend line does hold up during earnings, this would be a perfect time to be buying right here. You could be playing options right here, buying calls. If you want to take a risk during earnings, that would be a nice risk reward right there, because you do have this 200-day moving average at $51. So you do have, you would have about a $6 loss, give or take right here, which I think would hold up if it does sell off during earnings. But you do have massive upside potential if it does project good earnings and good guidance on Friday. So as you could see, going through our trend line, every time it's touched off this trend line, which is, once, twice, and, this is the third time we're touching off of this trend line, you've had a huge run up every time it has touched off this trend line here. So you do have a lot of upside potential. You could see last earnings when it sold off right before earnings, and then they came out with good earnings right here. The stock doubled after that, or it almost, it did double after their earnings right here. So you saw this big, share offering that happened and that caused the stock to sell off. But then they come out with great earnings and great guidance, and the stock doubled ever since then. So I'm hoping right here you're going to see another example of what happened in here. The stock hitting this trend line and recovering nicely and possibly going up to around $100. So if you're looking for any trades this week, this would be a good one to get into right here if you're looking for that high risk, high reward right here. This is a perfect time to be buying. I mean, yesterday would have been the perfect time, but even today you could still see, you could get in. It's right along this trend line here. And if they do beat their earnings, you can expect to see a lot of upside potential in this stock, because there is a lot of institutional ownership of this stock and a lot of retail investors behind this one too. So this would be a lot of people, trying to get back into this thing after earnings if they do come out with great numbers and the stock does not sell off. But you never know these days. The market is very unpredictable right now, and it is very volatile. So this would, again, it would be a high risk, high reward play if you were to buy in right here just to play it for earnings and expect that big jump. We have seen a lot of great earnings recently, and it's cause stocks to sell off. It is very unpredictable right now in the market. You can't tell what's going to happen after earnings. Usually if you come out with good numbers, you should have a, rise in the stock price, but that's not the case anymore, really. So that's the way I would play this. If I'm short term, I would be grabbing right here and playing it for earnings for the big jump off the trend line. If you're long, I would definitely be grabbing some here. Maybe nibbling right here just to see what happens after earnings. If it does sell off during earnings, I would be grabbing some around the $51 mark right here around this 200-day moving average. I don't think I would expect it to fall past that, but we will see what happens. And after earnings, if the stock does not sell off, I expect it to continue along this trend line right here and this to hold up. Because it is a very strong trend line so far. So that's what I would be doing right now. Friday will be a big day for this stock and the stockholders. And hopefully everything goes good on Friday and the stock recovers nicely from this little correction that it's been having. So that's just my quick update on Draftkings. If you guys liked it, make sure you hit that like button. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any new videos like this. And also hit the notification button so you get notified every time a video comes out. And we will see you next time on Chart Stoppers.